Ooh. Holy crap, the diamond coverage on the DP is one of the better looking coverages in the game. I absolutely love the way diamond looks on this weapon. But yes, welcome back, guys. We are done with our 24/7 grind, meaning we have unlocked every single gold weapon in this game, that being both zombies and MP. We unlocked everything in zombies, like about a week ago, we unlocked every gold gun in zombies. And about 3 or 4 days ago, we actually finished the MP grind. So right now, we have every single possible weapon that can get gold right now on this account, and we're going to kind of explain what happens when you get everything gold, the things and the issues with it, and the fixes and workarounds we found, because you guys have probably been grinding gold weapons too, and you know there are some weapons that are bugged out, and we've managed to get around a lot of the bugs, but there are some issues that you just cannot get past whatsoever. So when it comes to zombies, it's pretty straightforward, the challenges. It's not like MP. A lot of the issues in MP, once you get to the final set of challenges, with that, a lot of them are say something like use this attachment, this proficiency and stuff. And sometimes you run into issues where the proficiencies it tells you to use, or the attachments it tells you to use, or the ammo it tells you to use, just straight up don't exist. And there's a lot of workarounds for stuff like that. But in zombies, there's not that issue. The only main issue when zombies launched was the pistols asked you to use 7 attachments and you couldn't put that many on, but that's been fixed. However, there is still a reason I am not using the Dark Aether camo right now, because as you can clearly see, I'm not using Atomic or Dark Aether, using the gold camo. Unfortunately, if you are someone who leveled up and used the STG and M1 Grand in Warzone before Vanguard launched, your STG and M1 Grand are broken, and you will not be able to fix that issue. We have tried a lot of different things here, and as I know, no one else has been able to find a workaround for this. My STG are in zombies. It will let me do every single challenge except for the first 2 requirements, that being getting kills with the weapon, and I think the second one's headshots for the weapon. Doesn't matter. I can get 1,000,000 kills with the STG and M1 Grand in zombies right now, and it's still going to say 0 out of 40. And it kind of sucks because a lot of people who like to grind camos went out of their way, played Warzone to level up these weapons, to find out that they're now bugged out. And it's only the people who took that extra step, who kind of was proactive about it and like, you know what, I want to make my camo grinding experience a little bit easier. I'm going to take the time and grind up these weapons. If you went and did that, you actually can unlock the Dark Aether camo in zombies. And that's the only bug stopping Dark Aether being unlocked from zombies, is the M1 Grand and STG. Every other weapon in zombies right now, we have all of them gold. It's just those 2. And when you look at that, we got Dome for our second game, which is one of my favorite maps in the entire game. Absolutely love Dome in World at War, loving this as well. But yeah, now let's talk about the MP side of things and what happens when you get all gold weapons in MP, the workarounds we know for all of the camo challenges, and the ones that are just completely bugged out as it stands. So right off the bat, obviously the M1 Grand and STG, if you used them in Warzone, are still bugged out. You can't do it. And I know a lot of people, every time I bring this up, so many people are like, oh, my STG worked fine, my M1 Grand worked fine. It's only if you use them in Warzone is really where the issues kind of happen. And you might have if you used them a little bit, it might still be fine, but we maxed ours out, and most of the people who maxed out the STG and M1 Grand are stuck with this bug where they can't do anything with it. But besides that, it's not like zombies. There's a lot of other issues. Some of them have been fixed, some of them have workarounds, and some of them there's no workarounds. So we're going to talk about all of them. Starting off with the automation, at launch it wanted you to use some random proficiency that didn't exist, but that's since been fixed. If you use the frenzy proficiency at launch, it would count, and they've just changed it where the wording now says frenzy proficiency. Then moving on to the Bren, and this is one for the longest time we just thought was straight up impossible. But it turns out with the Bren, it wants you to use the rifled exterior barrel, and that doesn't exist. However, it does track if you use the Queen's 15mm crown barrel. If you use that barrel instead and get the ADS kills and the other attachments, it says it counts, so you are able to get the Bren gold. However, there is another LMG in that class, the Type 11, and no one's found a workaround for the Type 11. We have used the Type 11 and a ton of attachments for it. It wants you to use the weighted stock. It wants you to get kills using the weighted stock. There's no weighted stock for it. We've tried all the other stocks. We've tried all the different attachments. We've pretty much tested everything out with the Type 11 that we can think of. Nothing seems to track for that. The Type 11 is completely bugged. I don't think there's any workaround, nothing for that. If you know a workaround, definitely let me know and we'll put it in the comments below. But I just think that one's not going to be possible without an update. Then there's the double barrel. The double barrel says it wants you to use and get ADS kills with the fast loading 12 gauge mags, and there's only 2 magazine options for the double barrel. However, if you use the 16 gauge, that challenge works correctly and lets you unlock it. So now the shotguns are possible to get the diamond camo for, which we now have. Then there's the 3-line rifle as well. And yes, this one's possible. It wants you to use, I think it wants you to use vital, but if you use the hard scope proficiency instead, it works just fine. And it lets you unlock the camo, getting the gold, get the diamond snipers. The only thing is the 3-line's bugged besides that. The 3-line wants you to get 100 bloodthirsties instead of the standard 30. And that's the only weapon in the entire game that does that. I don't know why the 3-line rifle out of nowhere is like, all right, 30 for the ARs, 30 for this, 30 for all the other snipers. And then the 3-line, you got to get 100 bloodthirsties with it. But if you do get all 100, it tracks properly. We currently have the diamond snipers unlocked. So it's possible. The 100 bloodthirsty is a little insane. So if you are grinding for camos, honestly, I kind of wait on the 3-line, wait for them to fix that, because more than likely it's going to get fixed. The shield and the knife want you to get kills while the enemy is stunned. At launch, that didn't read properly. It wanted you to actually stun yourself instead, but that's been fixed. So now you actually want to stun the enemies, then kill them with it, and that's what's going to track. So besides that, the only thing that's actually fully bugged out right now, the only weapons we're missing in MP is obviously the STG and M1 Grand. Those are bugged. The Type 11, then there's one other weapon, that being the Panzerfraust. And I know a lot of people say this one isn't actually completely bugged. You are able to hit the UAVs and destroy them. You've got to destroy 30 aerial streaks with this weapon. However, one, not only is it extremely hard to destroy them, it took us a while to get them. But they don't seem to track either. So we have managed to get 1 out of 50. However, we've destroyed about 8 of them, and only 1 of them counted. And I think that was the first one we did. So I'm not sure what exactly has to be done for that to count, but we have destroyed 8 aerial streaks with the Panzerfraust, and only 1 of them managed to count. So I'm not sure what the deal with that is. And I know some people have suggested you have to hit both shots on the UAV with the Panzerfraust, because if you don't know, it's not a one-hit shot. It's the only launcher in the game that takes 2 rockets to destroy a UAV. But on top of that, it's also the most inaccurate. It's got the smallest hitbox range, and it's extremely hard to hit anything with it. And we never once hit a UAV twice using the Panzerfraust, but we have 1 out of 50 with it. And every other time, all we were doing to destroy them is we'd use an LMG, we'd weaken it, pull out the Panzerfraust, and then we'd hit it with the Panzerfraust. And it only counted 1 out of the 8 times we did it. So this challenge, to me, I'm just going to consider it bugged. Is it possible? Potentially, but we don't really know what's tracking for it, because just destroying UAVs with it normally doesn't count. And on top of that, not only do you have to destroy 50 of them, there's a challenge where you get to destroy 3 in 1 game 30 times, and I don't even know if this is tracking properly either. I know I've seen some people who have gotten 1 out of 30 with this. Doesn't count for dogs. You can't punch dogs. It has to be aerial streaks, so it has to be UAVs, it has to be counter UAVs. That's the only thing that tracks for that challenge, and that's the same for the other rocket launchers. But one, it would be near impossible to hit 3 in 1 game, and even if you did, I'm not sure it tracked properly, because the aerial streaks isn't tracking properly. So those right there are the 4 weapons in MP that are currently stopping us from unlocking the atomic camo. STG M1 Grand, can't do anything with them. The Type 11 doesn't have the weighted stock it wants. And the Panzerfraust is, I guess, technically possible, but it's super buggy and extremely hard to use. Like, honestly, if it was just straightforward, if it was just destroying 50 UAVs, I would have already done that. We would have already sat down, we would have destroyed the 50 UAVs. But like I said, we spent hours destroying 8 of them, and 1 of them managed to track. So there's no point in wasting the better course of a few weeks now. Like, we could sit there for weeks. If it's tracking 1 out of 10 for that, it's not going to happen. It would take us weeks to get that done. We'd have to destroy close to 500 UAVs with the Panzerfraust, and there's 0 shot. Like, 50's hard enough alone. There's no way we're destroying close to 500 of them. So if you do know what is tracking for that, definitely let me know, and we might be able to go ahead and get that out of the way. Same thing. If you know what's tracking for the Type 11, let us know. That way we can go ahead and get it gold. But that is the current stance of the camo grind in this game. Yes, we have all gold weapons. We've had all gold weapons for almost 3 or 4 days now since we finished the grind. And now this is the part every year. Once you finish the camo grind, you got to sit and wait for them to fix these challenges. And I just hope it's fixed before next year, Usually it takes a while to fix these, and I have a feeling that we might not be able to unlock the atomic camo until 2022. It might not be till like season 2 starts till we're actually able to unlock these bad boys, which is unfortunate. I'd really like to use the atomic camo now. I'd really like to use the dark ether camo now. I'd like to make footage on that for you guys. But nonetheless, I am going to start making guides for each and every weapon class. So if you want to know the fastest way to unlock the rocket launchers, except for the bugged one, the snipers, the LMGs, and zombies RMP, we're definitely going to cover all those challenges completely in full here. But yeah, with that, guys, we're going to wrap this one up. Let me know, what weapon category you want me to cover first. What are you struggling with? What do you want me to make a guide on? And where are you guys in your camo grind? Have you given up? Are you doing zombies? You doing MP? And whichever camo grind you're doing, how far are you? How many gold weapons do you currently have? But with that, guys, before I keep rambling on here, we're going to end this one. And until farther notice, this is what happens when you unlock all gold weapons in Vanguard and Vanguard Zombies. Peace. Oh, hey there. Thank you for watching the entire video. I've got to take this last moment here to give a huge thanks to everyone who became a Twitch sub or a YouTube member, and an extra special thanks to those who've taken above and beyond and became an Unlock Plus Plus member on YouTube. We've got the 2X Trader Purple. We've got the most OP Gobblegum ever, Round Robin. We have the hero Arrow Pharaoh, and then we've got the absolute legend Peyton Perkins. Once again, got to get a huge thanks to all of them for becoming Unlock Plus Plus members here on YouTube.